Yeah, recently my agents and I have gone to several classes where they're talking about taxes, what you can write off, how to minimize your taxes as a real estate agent. And a lot of these are not put on by tax professionals. They're not, tax experts or CPAs or anything like that, but they rather are people that, sell IRAs, 401ks, retirement plans, that sort of thing. So they're kind of more geared towards that. But what I found interesting is they're telling people that they can write off their mileage, write off their gifts, their signs, their cards, all of these things you can write off. But as an individual agent, the tax deduction for individuals when you're filing your taxes is $24,000. So that's the standard deduction from your income. So unless you're spending more than $24,000 a year, you're not getting everything that you should. You're not really able to write off any of that. Here's what I think you should do instead. And I'm going to say beforehand, I'm not a tax professional. I'm not a CPA, but this is what's been working for me for years. What I did is I started an LLC. And I created that as an S Corp for tax purposes. Now, that might not be best for you. Obviously, talk to your tax professional. What that made was it made a situation where I was an employee. And as an employee, I would draw checks. So here's how it works. Everything that the business made, every commission check, everything that I got went into the account for that LLC. All of my expenses, my fuel, my car payment, my signs, my cards, you name it, everything was paid by that account. So let's say I made $100,000. By the time I'm done with all of that, there's 80 to 85 left, right? Let's just say it's $80,000. And I need $70,000 to live on. So throughout the year, I draw $70,000. Now there's still $10,000 sitting in there, but I've only been paid as an individual $70,000, not the $100,000 that I made. Then I can take my standard deduction as an individual and an employee of $24,000, and what's left of that 80 is all that I pay taxes on. So I've already just right there cut off almost a third of what my income was, so that I don't have to pay taxes on it. So that is a better way to save on taxes rather than putting it into an IRA or a 401k where you have a penalty to withdraw. And even if you don't, yes, you're not paying taxes on it right now, but eventually when you do draw, you will pay taxes on it. And I don't know about you, but the way I see things is that taxes are not going to go down when I'm looking to retire. Taxes are probably going to be higher. So that is a better way, in my opinion, to set up yourself to pay less taxes and keep more of your income. Okay, that was brokerages. A lot of new agents go there. A lot of agents go there, period. But it's kind of becoming a little bit outdated. And what I mean by that is, you pay office fees and you pay a lot of fees. You pay a large portion of your income, you pay to them. And because they have these large offices and things, well, people don't go into offices anymore. I mean, most agents don't go to a physical office every day. And if they do, they're having to rent out a 10 by 10 room office, whatever you want to call it, to be able to be. So basically so that's kind of not something. The other thing that they have is the other type of brokerage that is starting to gain traction is kind of your online virtual brokerage. And it is very little help. You're on your own. Some of them are very cheap, a few $100s a transaction, what have you. And that's great. Those are really good for agents that have been around for a long time, don't need any help, don't need guidance, don't need that sense of community. They're just out there to do their business and pay as little as possible. That works for them. And then the larger brokerages, like I mentioned before, they are more geared towards newer agents that need training and stuff, but they do fall short of that. At least that's my experience. And so there's a huge gap right in the middle there where it's somewhat seasoned agents still need some help sometimes. Every once in a while, come across a transaction that something is new, different, haven't seen it before. I need somebody to call. These big brokerages, there's nobody to call because there's too many people there. And there's only one or two team leaders for hundreds of agents. And there's just not the support that you need in the moment. And then in the online ones, there's no support because there's nobody. That's not what you're paying. But there's got to be something. And at this point right now, there really isn't. And unfortunately, nobody is filling that gap. And right now, there's nobody really filling that gap, but and So if you look at what we provide as MAG Real Estate, there are several different. So you look at what we provide. So you look at what we provide at MAG Real Estate, and we provide hands-on, one-on-one training in the moment. What does that mean? That means that when you get a contract and you have to write it and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to do this. I'm brand new. Or I just have a question. I'm not sure what to do about this because my buyer wants to do X, Y, Z. We will pick up the phone right then. If you need to write a contract, it's your first couple of contracts and you're just not very stable with it, you can come to the office. We'll put it up on the big screen. We will write it together and explain everything to you so that you better understand in the moment. The problem with the bigger brokerages is they provide these classes, but it's all up front. And then after that, you're supposed to retain all that information from a class that you went to a little while ago. And that's hard to do. It's much easier to learn in the moment. And that's what we also have state-of-the-art software like the big brokerages do. And everything that you have, CRM, back office, all of these things are all the same as the big brokers, but we're charging less than half of what these large brokerages are charging. So that is the gap. That's what's in the middle is we don't charge near what they do. We provide way better hands-on, one-on-one training, and we give you the best of both worlds. You get everything that you need at a very affordable price with no monthly office fees or anything like that. So you pay nothing out of pocket every month, and you pay only a little bit when you actually have a transaction. This is the best model that I could have made for agents, and we are hoping that a lot of people will see the value. This is the best product that I could think of to put together for agents. The agents that we have now love it, they're enjoying it, and we are seeing growth, and we expect to see a lot more people take advantage of this.